Record to the cloud. There we go. All right. As soon as this thing starts or stops spinning, we will be live.
Probably live right now. I can just got my notification.
All right, sweet. We are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to season 2 of Whiskey Thursday.
Cheers.
Did you really just do that?
Yeah, I did. Cheers.
Oh my gosh. So cheesy. But we are excited. We've
Whatever, it's fun, right? It's what it's about.
Yeah, right. It's exactly what it's about. But we got a great show in store for everybody tonight. We've got a special guest, Ed Boulanger. Ed, welcome back.
Thanks, buddy. How are you doing?
Good.
Before we get into all this, is it Boulanger or is it Boulanger? French.
If you're French, it's Boulanger.
Okay.
If you're going to cut it up American style, it's Boulanger.
Boulanger.
But Boulanger sounds so much better.
A great show. It does. All right, there we go.
Yeah,
Grab the link. Now I can spam it.
So what's the background on your family name? Are you French? Or are you
French. So my great grandfather lived in France.
Okay.
And, immigrated over way back when.
Okay.
awesome?
Nice.
There you go. Good. A little bit of history on Ed.
There you go.
Let's move on. Now that
Like,
we got that out of the way.
If you guys are here and you are watching live, hashtag live in the comments down below. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay in the comments down below. I'm pretty excited. This is going to be a good one. We just sent out the messenger bot, so we should have people popping in here. Again, hashtag live if you're watching live, hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. And let us know, where are you currently watching from? Probably in your house, but you never know. We just got our quarantine increased another 15 days or something like that. It's till the end of the month of May. But real estate agents just became essential today. So they are out showing houses again, selling houses. We got a lot of pent-up demand there. So if
Quarantine might not be a bad thing though for Detroit, you know? Chill out a little bit.
That's one way to look at it.
Just kidding.
Oh, man.
You know how I am in Detroit, right?
Oh, I know.
I love the city. It's fun.
It's a love-hate, mainly, not love.
So we got a ton of people joining in here. Let's see, Peter's here. What is going on? Good to see you, Peter. Don is here. Christian, Alan, Jacob, Alan watching from Dallas, Peter from Philly, and we got Christian here from Toronto. Who else? Keith, Alex, Xander's here, and I got Chuck in here. What's up? Alex, another Alex. Am I missing anybody else? I don't know. There's so many people. That's nice to see everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We got a great show tonight. Actually, Ed's been with us on Whiskey Thursday before. This isn't his first time, so he knows exactly how this goes. He's already got his beard going. I hope you guys did some pre-drinking tonight, because tonight is the night that we want to know all the secrets, because Ed is going to tell us how he has scaled his business way beyond anything we have ever seen.
Yeah.
And we've known Ed for a while now. Ed is part of the Academy, also a pretty active member inside of the Real Estate Marketing Conversion Mastery group. A pretty active member helping people out in our private group as well. Ed, we really appreciate you coming on the show tonight, and really appreciate all the value you've always added to both groups, especially with members inside of the private group. It's always been, it's nice to see you chime in and let everybody know how you're doing and everything. But one of the, I think what's going to be really exciting tonight is talking about your acquisition strategy, because it's not every day that somebody goes from zero to $817,000 in revenue. Now, I put $817,000 in revenue because I felt kind of weird actually putting, close to $1 million in revenue per month. So talk a little bit. Why don't you give us an idea as to, where you kind of started from, before you joined the Academy. You're a licensed real estate agent. Give us a little bit of history and what's, how you got to, and before you dive into like how you scaled and stuff like that, because I know like the acquisition methods are a little bit unique, but just give us a little bit of background of what was going on before you joined the Academy and all this agency stuff.
So it's kind of funny. So you look back at it now, like I think I joined the Academy in like April of last year. It's been like almost about a year. And my whole goal was I had a real estate team, and I want to just get better leads, right? I was like $5-6 a lead, was great, right? But I was one of those realtors that, I know everything. People would pitch me, I'm doing ads, I'm good. I don't need you. And then, I got into the big group, and I started watching. I'm like, wow, these guys are getting like leads for $2 or $1.50, right? And they're converting appointments at 20%, 25%. And there I am, I'm converting, leads at, appointments at like 5%, right? So I knew that our system was broken, right? It needed help. I had that like come to Jesus moment, I don't know everything. I can close deals, but my whole skill set was lacking. So I've always been a closer, been a good trainer, but knew that I needed more. So I spent $1,000 at that point, totally worth it, right? Because inside the small group is where all the gold is, right? So the course is fantastic. Everything you need to scale is there, right? You teach them how to get clients. You teach them how to get good results, how to keep them, all the kind of stuff that people need to be a marketer is there. You just have to apply it, right? So I could watch YouTube and watch how to shoot a 3-pointer and then go on the basketball court, and unless I'm practicing and doing my thing, I'm going to throw air balls or bricks, right? I'm not going to be Michael Jordan.
Right.
So it took time and practice. And so say probably like 2 months after I get into the course, and I think I watched the entire course in 4 or 5 days. Like I just binged it.
Just binged it.
No, I'm the kind of guy, like if I spend money, like I'm going to get my money's worth.
Yeah, and you went Tiger King style at this thing, huh?
So I just I went nuts. I was like, turn my phone off for 3, 4, or 5 days. I just soaked it all up and made notes and went back to my notes and watched videos. And so once I was comfortable with like my own team and getting good leads and good conversions, seeing these kids that are like 20, 21, 22, making lots of money, I'm like, damn, I'm a dinosaur, but I can do this too. So then that's where I got the idea to kind of go from real estate first to marketing first. So I kind of made the switch in like June, might have been late May, to kind of make the switch in the gears. So my team was kind of doing their own thing, doing well. I'm like, well, let me just see what I can do. And so I used some of the strategies in the course. So like Shane's Facebook broker training deck, money, absolute money. Cheryl's paid to pitch deck, money. So I started by using that. I kind of put them both together to kind of make a few of my own slides. And I started just doing live events, right? Live training. Thankfully, I have the background as a realtor, so I had the network already. So I already had an unfair advantage.
Yeah.
I had the connections. People knew me. People liked me. Well, maybe I don't know if they liked me, but
they knew you.
They at least knew me.
Right.
I had a leg up on everyone else. So it's kind of unfair to project my kind of rise compared to other marketers, because I'll be honest, like I trash you guys. In my demos, I trash marketers.
Really?
The reason why. So like I put together a little deck for tonight, but you'll see why, right?
Okay.
Why, nothing personal. I love all you guys. I try to do my best to share and give back.
It's okay. You should see what marketers say about real estate agents.
I can imagine. Realtors are lazy. They suck. Most of them suck. Like I use the stuff that you guys have given us to kind of get started, right? But one thing about me is I'm not the best at systems, not the best at writing copy. I work harder than everyone else. Like I just bust my ass 16, 18 hours a day. I don't care what it took to get going. Like I was gonna make this go. So the biggest advice is just work hard. Just bust your ass. Do it for 6 months. Then you can kind of look back on the gas a little bit.
Makes sense. And so you said you have a deck that you're going to show us tonight.
I do.
So what is this deck that you're talking about?
So the deck's a little mishmash of classes I've done for other realtors. So it starts with like your sales skills and your mindset. So cool. Whether you watch YouTube or hopefully they took your class or going to buy it soon, or just do it, just buy it. I don't care. Just buy
the course.
Buy the shit. Gary Gray, just buy their shit. Like, get the knowledge, But then I'm going to go into like what it takes to actually to grow your business, right? So your sales skills, your mindset, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, how to get good information so you've earned the right to pitch your realtors. And then from there, kind of the step after that is how to pitch teams and brokerages, which is where all the money is. So,
Interesting.
so at one time I had 44 clients, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 retainers.
Mm-hmm.
And they were good, but they were kind of a headache, right? These single agents kind of broke, you know, worried about month to month.
Mm-hmm.
And then through a referral, I got my first big deal.
Okay.
$100,000 a month. Really big deal from one of my clients.
Really?
That kind of changed my whole outlook because this client, they're a little more high maintenance, like they demanded more.
Mm-hmm.
It was so much easier to handle one client at $100,000 than 25 at $2,000.
Right.
So, you know, as I've gone, I've kind of changed my stance, how I've done things.
Mm-hmm.
And my agency has gone from like 50,000 up to 300,000 down to 20,000. So it hasn't been like a straight line. Like I've made tons of mistakes. You know,
especially if you're scaling that quickly too, right? I mean, you're going to make mistakes along the way, and if you're not implementing systems, I know when we had you on the last time, that was one of your big struggles at the time was really, you know, figuring out like, this is great. I've got all these clients now, but I can't fulfill. I don't have the time. I don't have the systems in place. I don't, you know, it's not that you don't know what to do. It's just you tap out at some point, you know?
So my systems, nowhere to lie, was a Trello board, a spreadsheet, and sticky notes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not very good.
Yeah.
You know, but then, you know, if like, especially in the small group, there are guys like Brent, love Brent, right? Much better marketer than I am by far. He has the systems and he's got it down. You know, if you ask people, they'll tell you. We all share our secrets in the small group.
It's true.
By far more value, nothing personal, more value than the actual course itself.
Yeah.
There's one guy in the group that doesn't share his secrets. He's been hanging on to one secret that everybody's been asking about. Anybody guess who that person is? No? Anybody watching can guess who that person is? Has got some seller lead campaigns holding back on everybody to show that to? No? Generating leads for $2 a lead on a seller campaign? Doesn't want to share it to anybody? Nobody knows who that is? Yeah.
No.
In fact, I think the only other person that knows about it is Ed.
True.
Right?
True.
Matt's got the campaign, shared it with Ed. Nobody else knows about it.
So I mean, it's a fantastic campaign. I had trouble executing it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely genius.
I do have somebody testing it right now, who's it's an agent investor team, so they might have a little bit of an advantage with the investor side. So we're wondering if that might help go into with a twist. But we're still trying to nail it down because that's the thing is the execution, right?
Yeah,
like
I think that's why we're kind of holding back on it. Yeah,
yeah,
that was the big reason why we held back on that. It was just
Shane's calling me out. Let's just that's what we're talking about.
No, it's a cool campaign, and you know, it kind of like it goes back to the day when you know Matt put together the foreclosure campaign. I mean, the ads are great, but if you can't execute on it, it's useless, right? So. We wanted to be careful with the seller campaign as well, making sure that people had tested it out and can execute. Fuck if Ed can't execute the rest, you know, it's going to be tough for a lot of people.
So it's funny, like I sent my best closing agents out there and they couldn't close it. Everyone's like, well, you know, what's the catch? Like what's in there for you? I couldn't overcome it. We tried.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, if you guys want really good listing leads right now, I'll give you a hook that I use that's really good right now. Leads under $1 for sellers. Is offer them a free digital marketing package, whether you list it or not.
There you go.
Offer them a free Matterport.
Boom.
If you don't own the equipment, pay someone like $200. It's worth it. Especially with COVID.
Sorry. So what's the ad? So the
ad is. So you put a picture of like COVID or people in masks, right? So you kind of get their attention with the picture. And the whole hook is, listen, we'll give you a free virtual listing package free of charge, whether you use this or not. It's good for people who want to do for sale by owners, people who are expireds, right? You can't sell your home. I will do a free Matterport for you in exchange for your information, right? And then you use that hook to get in, and you show them your aerial photos, your drone photos, right? So you give them visuals. You know, these are the photos that I had taken from our last listing. So you use those visuals. They already know you, and they want to work with you, but they're afraid. Listen, I'm going to give you something free of value, right? It doesn't cost you anything.
Right.
I mean, there is some money in the background, in the back, and if they do take it up and they don't work with you lose some money.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll spend $300 to get a listing all day long.
Yeah,
people should spend $1,000 to get a listing.
Right.
those listings are super valuable, right? I mean, just the leads that come in from the listing are valuable.
You know, but especially now, everyone's sitting at home, right? And they see like the kitchen that they hate or the living room that they hate, right? They now hate their homes. They want to sell.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, were you guys on quarantine at all?
Yeah, we're just able to start showing homes a couple of days ago.
What are you seeing? Are you seeing a delayed seller's market, basically?
A little bit.
Yeah.
So we have buyers lined up.
Yeah.
There's nothing on the market right now.
Makes sense. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I think it's obviously going to delay. Is it going to boom like we hope it will? I mean, it has yet to be seen. I don't know that anybody's come out and seen it boom like clearly the buyers are ready to go. They want out of their houses. They want to get in that new house. Their apartment's getting real small. The walls are coming in and everything.
Absolutely.
No, I love it. Sweet. So Shane, I don't know. What do you think? Should we check out the slide deck?
I think we should save it till the end.
Save it till the end. Well, I think we got a couple of things that Ed was talking about we were going to go over.
Oh, really? Okay, let's do it. I don't know. It's not there. I mean, it depends if people want to see the slide deck. I mean, I don't know that we don't. You know, if anybody, viewers and stuff, want to see the slide deck, I mean, it's up to them, right? We've seen it. We offer it, so it's you know. But I know it's been modified. Yeah.
Well, it's actually the slide deck for, like, you know, once you get the client or once you get the appointment with the client, how to actually close them. Because you guys do everything that they need to actually
get the appointments.
Get the appointment, you know. But the thing I hear most is, you know, oh, I don't know how to close them.
This is the pitch deck?
Nope.
No.
I won't give that up. This gives you everything you need to know, all the ingredients.
Oh, okay.
For your pitch deck, the recipe to success, and how I close most of my demos.
Boom. Love it.
So this is the deck you used for.
No, you're saying this is the deck you created for this, right?
It is.
Oh, yeah. Hang on a second. So this is the deck you created for Whiskey Thursday to pitch to people that are on Whiskey Thursday?
Nope. So this kind of shows.
I'm totally confused. What deck is this?
So I'm not gonna drop my actual pitch deck, but I'm gonna give you all the ingredients you need.
I see. So this is a modified version of your original pitch deck to give us all the ingredients to what we need, or the people that are viewing, to pitch their own clients.
You know, because the problem is everyone's like, you know, cool, I'm doing demos or free trials, but I can't close them.
Right. I get it. Awesome.
You guys want to see it? Hashtag show us. Show us. I could think of a couple ones. I'm not going to, you know what?
Hashtag show us your deck?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I'll wait. Shane will catch on. He'll say it.
Yeah, just don't mess it up.
Oh,
man. Let's see it. Is it letting you share?
Let me see.
All right, cool.
Ed, what are you drinking, Ed?
Drinking a sour apricot and peach beer.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Shane, what are you drinking?
A glass of wine.
All right.
Yeah,
I got me a Dewar's 18 year.
There you go. Oh. Jacob caught on here. Hashtag show us your D.
That's why I said hashtag show us.
Show us the goods. Show us the goods. Awesome, guys.
There we go. Oh, man. I love it. All right. Let's check this thing out. Sales skills and mindset.
All right. So hopefully you've gone through Shane and Matt's course, right? You know what you're doing. And you're like, dude, I can't close deals. Like, my sales process sucks. So most people have a hard time closing, right? So you have to find your biggest bottleneck and be honest about it and open it up, right? So if your problem is getting demos or intro calls, right? Your message isn't good, or your cold outreach sucks, or whatever it is. You teach all that stuff, right? How to get clients. Most people have a hard time closing realtors. They don't have money. They've used people before. The leads suck. They don't answer. We've heard all the excuses before, right? So you have to practice. I still practice 2 hours a day. All right. Michael Jordan, the best guy I've seen on the basketball court, first guy on the court, last guy off the court, he practiced crazy, right? So you need to kind of improve your skills. You know, you can have like a C or a D grade demo, right? Your demo deck could suck balls, but if you have those skills to actually close them, that'll crush a phenomenal demo deck with like shitty skills.
Yep.
You know, so you want to practice the same demo. So work on a demo deck and practice the hell out of it. You know, 1 to 2 hours a day, find some friends, find a couple of buddies, right? Do like a mastermind group, find some buddies. Practice the same deck with the same story, the same value stack, the same offer, same bonuses, the same kind of close. Do it for a couple of months. Like, don't change your deck. So my biggest thing was I had an original deck, right? And I was like telling them, I wasn't showing them.
Yeah.
And it sucked balls. I wasn't closing people.
Right.
And I hate that. Like, I'm super competitive. So then I would change my deck a week later, and then change it a week later, change it a week later. Just sucked. I was stuck. That's where I started doing live events and do really well with that. But, you know, put in the work, role play. I watch all of my calls. So if I don't close the client, of course, I record all my Zoom calls. I will go back and watch, and I'll watch different points. So I'll watch where I do my introduction. What does their face tell me? I go into my story, right? Are they connected? Are they staying engaged? They lose them there. They lose them at my close. They lose them at my value stack, right? And you'll learn quickly where your problems are. I never listen or rewatch good decks, good demos. I've already closed them.
Right.
Right. Put in the work. Like, you have to work at this. You can't just watch a video or take a course and then know what the hell you're doing. You don't. You have to practice. I said, you know, watch your demos. Watch for the nonverbal cues. So any of my demos, if they have a camera off, I hang up. I don't give them an option. I want to see your face. I want to see where I'm hitting or where I'm missing. That's the only way you get better.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So before you do that, like, research.
Sorry, Ed, before I interrupt here, just because so we don't get lost here in some of the questions. One of the questions that just popped up was, how do you practice your pitch deck or when you're like these demos? So
I would use other marketers or realtors that you know. So for me, I was fortunate. I had realtors who helped me with this. But if anyone wants to, like, my time is kind of limited, but if anyone wants to, like, you know, practice on me with their deck, you know, I'll give them half hour of my time. But practice on realtors, practice on other marketers, you know, get a small group. And in the big group, there's like 18,000 people. Find a couple of buddies and just practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no shortage of marketers out there that will sit down with you and practice your decks.
Yeah.
Just ask, right?
You know, and if it's, you know, you show me yours, I'll show you mine, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's one hand washes the other. But more importantly, it's like research realtors, or if you're doing roofing or whatever it is, like, research your people, right? Know their challenges and the stumbling blocks that they're facing, right? So maybe they can't get leads to call them back, right? Know that challenge and then where they're stumbling. Know their desires, right? What they want, what they need out of lead generation or out of the business, and what's keeping them from getting there. Know their numbers, right? Know what they've done for deals, their average price point, their GCI. Oftentimes we'll catch them in lies, right? We'll say, well, I did 12 homes last year and the average price point was 300,000 and my GCI was like 150,000. Lies, right? Your GCI was like 81,000, right? So I'm catching you in a lie, whether it's GCI or number of deals or whatever it is. You know, and then know what those numbers mean to them. Like, are they looking to feed a family of 4? Are they looking to grow their team? Like, what's their goal? Like, what is their vision for their numbers? Know what they've tried before. right? Know what those results were. If it failed, oh, I used 8 different people just like you and they all sucked. Leads sucked. They didn't answer. They no-showed on my appointments. Whatever it is, like you want to know that because you're going to use that in your demo deck and you're going to stick on it and you're going to hit those pain points and you're going to pound them. All right, give them lots of pain and then show them the pleasure. Or if they had a good program, Ed, I love Zillow. Well, why? My first question is why? Because Zillow sucks. But why? What did you like about it? Like, what made you happy about it? And then the other question is, why'd you stop? If it was so good, why'd you stop? Was it money? Was it whatever? Right? Did the price go up? And then kind of like know their lingo, like know GCI and know what escrow is. And
somebody asked, what is GCI?
gross commissionable income. So if you sell a home at 300,000 and your commission is 3%, you make $9,000 before any kind of splits.
And that's your GCI.
But know their lingo, like talk how they talk.
Yep, I love it.
And this is really important, right? Especially in the real estate world, like understanding the language is very, very important. Nobody wants to talk to somebody that doesn't understand the industry, right? So you need to know these things. The other thing too, so one question that I would have is, how do I find out all this information about the client? Is this something you're asking while you're on the call with them? Is it like, are you going through, their business, their numbers and so on before you actually get into your demo? Or is that just part of your pitch?
So the different ways I can do it. So oftentimes I'll give them a form to fill out to talk to me, right? And it has conditional logic. So I ask them all the questions that I'm looking for, which I go into a little bit further to kind of get a better idea about their business, where they're at, where they're going, and then kind of how to get them there. But if you know their lingo, you talk just like them, they instantly trust you, right? Because you get what they're going through, right? Most marketers, if I can give you 2 to 3 closings a month, would you be interested? Click yes. Okay, everyone else does that too. And that's like VA cold outreach.
Yeah.
Instead, hey, listen, what would an extra $20,000 a month in GCI look like for your business? Could you then hire an admin, right? So you can go home to your family sooner, right? Make it relatable. Make it something that they're actually going to care about. I mean, some care about money, but the biggest pain points for a realtor are time, like wasted time.
Yep.
Money, working long hours. Like if you look at the NAR statistics, the average realtor makes like $40,000 a year. The ones who work 30 hours a week make like 30,000, and the ones who work like 60 hours a week make like 90,000, right? So they're taking away from their family life, whatever it is, or whatever they want to do for hobbies to make more money.
Yeah.
Right? I can solve that for you. That's huge. You have to get to the deeper layers behind just money. I mean, money's good, but make it relatable, hit the pain points. Do they have kids? Do you want to see your kids grow up? Kind of thing.
Yep.
So like, how to do your research, right? You can use Facebook groups. Just post simple questions, like, ask them about their biggest challenge with buyers, biggest challenge with sellers, the biggest challenge in growing their business. What one thing would they do next year to improve their business? What's your favorite CRM? What do you like about it?
Yep.
And you can do that through or even, offer people coffee or lunch or do live events, which I did, right? Live events, get with the team leader. Hey man, listen, man, what was your biggest challenges this past year? Where do you see yourself next year? How do you plan on getting there? Do you have a system that's going to help you systematically get there? Like, can you like scale? Can you grow with it? Right? Just ask those questions. You can attend BNI meetings. You can cold call realtors in your area. So look on Facebook. Realtors have their picture and their information everywhere. It's not hard.
Yep.
If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, call me. It's everywhere. It's just gross, but it happens. Or you can offer to pay another marketer. So you have a really good marketer. So say you say, hey Shane, listen, I give you $100 for your time to ask you about the real estate niche, and what it's like. you know.
Yeah.
The golden nugget, and everyone says, I offer free trials, I don't get testimonials. The golden nugget here is offer free trials in exchange to interview them for an hour or 2 hours. Hey, listen, Sally Realtor, listen, I'm kind of new to this, I'll be honest. And I really want to know more about what makes a realtor tick. Like, what are your challenges? What are your struggles? Like, what really gets you going? Can I give you a free trial or free leads? Because I really want to know what you're going through, what your challenges are. They will gladly do that for you. And oh, by the way, when you're all done, instead of asking for testimonial, interview them. Great. So listen, we're all done. And I got a really good feel about what you're going through, whatever. Listen, can I take 5 minutes to talk about the trial and how you liked it and what the good part was, what the bad part was. And Sally, the only reason I'm asking is I want to get better, right? I want to be able to help you guys enjoy life. And your honest feedback will help me improve what I'm doing going forward.
Yeah.
Joe says, take them out for lunch. They love lunch.
Yeah.
That's actually how I got my first client. Was I took one out to lunch just to find out a little bit more about their business and how real estate agents work, right? And it's exactly, we ended up landing that client. It ended up being a really large client.
But coffee, lunch, drinks, do a little event.
They love that stuff because they're going to try and sell you too. Just tell them you own a house.
Partner up with the lender, do a little happy hour, right?
Yeah.
Everyone kind of network and do a mixer, real estate mixer, and just go ask them questions. They love that shit. They're all about the freebies.
Absolutely.
But if you offer a free trial in exchange for the interview, so you can research and get your testimonial all in one, it saves you a lot of time. So intro calls, like kind of what I get from my intro calls. I'm looking for the past 12 months transactions in revenue. So you did X amount of deals, and what was your sales volume? What was your percentage, your GCI, your splits? Your goals for the next 12 months, right? Give me a reasonable goal and a stretch goal. Listen, you did 12 deals last year. You want to do 18, would you want to do 24, right? In a perfect world, 36. Like, if you could make your perfect year next year, what does that look like? Right? Because you can give them the way to get there. Average sales price, average commission was 2.5%, 3%, 2.75, whatever it is. Get their team split or their brokerage split. It's important when you can calculate their ROI, which Shane's calculator has made me, I can't even tell you how much money. That shit is gold.
I should have sold it to you.
Hands down, the best thing, one of the best things from the course. It's fantastic. If they're on a team or if they're a brokerage, number of agents, their current advertising budget, their current KPIs, ROIs. I guarantee you, they know none of their ROI or their KPIs. They just don't know it. So some demo tips, right? Ask questions, make it interactive. So when I first started, I would just bulldoze them. I'd be like, this is what I do. This is why it works. This is what you'll make. And cool, like, do you want it? Maybe like, nah, I'm good, right? Because I lost them halfway through. Ask them questions, keep them engaged. Hey, listen, Sally, if you could do 24 deals this year, what would that do for you? What would that do for your family? Could you hire on some buyer agents, right? Because I know you said that, buyers take a lot of your time and you really want seller leads. What if you made enough money to bring on a buyer's agent, right? And give them buyer's leads. And then on the back end, you make a referral on it. What does that do for you? Make it a story. I go further in that with the story. Jack and Jill were real estate agents and, they're working long hours, working weekends, working nights. People didn't show for appointments, whatever it was. They tried different marketers before and it was the same story and they wasted a lot of kind of money. And then they met me, right? They got referred to me, yada, yada, yada. Go through your system, how it works, how it's different. Make it a story. People can relate to a story. Use their name over and over. I must use my prospect's name, first name, at least 75 times in my demo. When I ask a question, or if I give them a tie down, so you want to do 24 deals next year, what would that look for you, like you, Joe? Would that make sense for you, Joe? Right? Because it's kind of a personal tie down. It makes it personal. And then show them visuals, don't tell them, right? Show them pictures of frustrated realtors or your results. or live transfers. Get them emotional, because emotion closes deals. People will use emotion to buy stuff, and then they'll use numbers to rationalize it. Like when you buy a car, you do a test drive, right? So the car salesman opens the hood, shows you the engine, shows you the trunk, shows you the inside. Cool, take it for a drive, because he's giving you transfer of ownership. Right? You want to do the same thing. Look, this is what Jack and Jill did. Do you want that too? Does that make sense? Do you want to make more money with less time invested? Show sample ads. So don't give them the secret sauce, but give them like a foreclosure ad, or give them a homes list or a single property ad, like a real basic one. On all mine, I open my ad accounts live in front of them. Right, so I give them real-time feedback. I could post social proof of stuff from last year, but hey, listen, Sally, in my business, what happened 3 months ago is dinosaur stuff, right? It doesn't matter anymore. Now we're doing COVID ads. In 3 months, maybe we're doing recession ads, or your home is underwater ads, right? So I open up an ad account. Listen, this is what we're doing. This is my cost per lead. These are my transfers. This is my spreadsheet. Show them live, because then they can't deny what you're doing. Show them your automations. Like if you're using Go High Level or chatbots, or if you have an ISA dashboard that shows X amount of leads, X amount of transfers, show them. Hey, listen, I could show you screenshots, but I'm going to show you live, right? Because I want you to know what's going on now. Because maybe 3 months ago I was awesome, today I suck. I don't know. Especially for me, like I've gone up and down so much. I've had good times and bad times. The bad times are, listen, I'm struggling, whatever. Just keep it real. So your demo, right? Hey, listen, I'm Ed with ABC Marketing Group, whatever it is, right? So you're gonna tell them what your system is. Like mine is cold to close, right? My marketing company explains what I do, right? I'm taking your cold leads and make them into closed deals, right? I want you to always be in escrow, right? Forever escrow. In your demo, address the elephant, right? So if their biggest objection is the leads suck, right? They don't answer my phone call. In your demo, you're gonna address that. Hey, listen, Jack and Jill are realtors. They use other people and they got, a bunch of leads, but they didn't convert. They didn't answer their phone. They no-showed on appointments, right? And they tried this, and this, and didn't work, right? They had the same problems, and they didn't trust anyone, right? A marketer kind of reached out to them. It's like an EXP agent, you kind of cringe, right? Because that the whole, recruitment thing is coming at you, right? They didn't trust anyone. They heard about me from a colleague or a friend, or just saw me in a chat group or whatever it was. This is what we did to help them. And you go through social proof, right? So you want to prove that it wasn't like a one-off thing. So you give them different ad accounts, you go back a little bit, so that you can do this over and over and over, right? It's sustainable, it's proven. It's not going to be good 1 month and shit the next month. And then you go through a value stack. So one of the biggest things we get is the leads suck. I can't convert them. The white label conversion training that you guys gave us on ClickFunnels and Kartra, money. Put it in there, money. Show them. I'm going to give you the tools, the scripts, the videos, on how to do it so you do better than your competition, right? So you're just kind of building value. All right, then you pitch them, you make them an offer.
So let me ask you, Ed, I'm always curious to know who uses the white label training for the lead training and calls and follow-ups and stuff. Are you using that for your agents or for your clients?
Yep.
Have you modified it at all? Have you added anything more to it, or?
I haven't touched it.
No, well, that's good. That's good to know. That's awesome.
It's perfect the way it is.
Yeah, awesome.
No one else is offering that.
Yeah, it's awesome. Who else in the academy? Who else is watching that's in the academy that is using the lead follow-up white label program?
Training?
Yeah, the white label training we built. And by the way, I've got to give props to Luke Shankula for giving us that idea. Thank you so much, Luke.
Yeah, for sure.
That was awesome, because he built one for mortgages, And but we just kind of revamped the entire thing when we did the masterclass on mortgages.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen, there's been quite a few people that have been using it. If you're in the academy and you're not using that for your clients,
Use it.
Use it, because it's I think it's really valuable. And like Ed says, show it. Like nobody else is offering this. You know, if anybody says, "Oh, I've already seen this," then that means you can come back to the private group, and because we don't sell it outside of the private group, you can go back to the private group and ask, like, "Hey, who's actually competing with me?" So it's only available inside the academy.
Yeah, I mean,
Right. Mike King says he's got it. Thomas Pacheco says he's got it. He's using it. Jacob says, "Where can I find this?"
Jacob, he's in the academy. What are you doing? You got to go through the course, buddy.
John says, "Yes, the white label stuff is my last nail in the coffin to bring people on board. What good are your leads or our leads if you don't know how to convert them, right?" So,
but like instead of just telling them, I actually open up and show them. Hey, listen, you get this free of charge, right?
I love it.
You know, my mentors have put together this for all my clients. It's fantastic. It's the same system that we use ourselves. Just show it to them. Show them your ad accounts. Don't hide. You know, if you're new, hey, listen, I am new, right? Be honest. They'll actually appreciate that, because you'll probably give them a good discount, right? If you're new. So, you know, make them the offer, right? Go for your close. If they don't kind of bite, you can always double back a little bit and say, listen, I'm kind of confused. I've seen your head's kind of nodding, and you've been saying yes to my questions along the way. You know, what did you not understand? Like, how can I help you explain, you know, what we do? All right. Yeah. You can give them, you know, the act now bonus, you know, but wait, there's more, right? If you act now, so for me, I give them a bonus right up. So if I'm going to pitch a 100 lead package, hey, listen, you know what I'm going to do for you is for the first month, I'm going to give you 200, and double your leads to 200 leads, right? I want you to be successful, get on the right foot. I know I have enough cushion in my package to do it. It's not going to hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what, $300 out of my pocket, worst case scenario, whatever. Doesn't matter, right? But listen, Sally Realtor, I'm so passionate about helping realtors that for the first month, I want to get you going and really just charging ahead and give you twice the leads for the first month. You know, whatever it is you want to offer. If they don't act, go through your value stack again, you know, add a few more things. So if you added like the white label training, maybe add something else, you know, whatever you're going to offer, right? So you want to kind of hold a few things back in your deck. Then you want to close. Give them a best or worst case scenario. So listen, Sally, you said that, you know, your average deal is 300,000, 3%, which is 9,000 GCI, right? Worst case scenario, if you only close one deal or two deals a month, one deal a month, right? Mm-hmm. You made $9,000. Would it make sense to give me $3,000 for that, right? If I had a money machine where you put a dollar in and you get $3 out after a month, would that make sense to you, right? So you give them the ridiculous scenarios to get a yes out of them. And then if need be, you downsell. Maybe you give them money off the first month, the first 3 months, whatever it is.
You close.
You close them, right? I'd rather close them and make $500 profit and then upsell them as I go than not get a deal at all.
Makes sense.
I mean, recently I've kind of pivoted to a course as a downsell. Mm-hmm. So listen, you know, I'm going to give you a course on ABC, whatever it is.
Yep.
And my whole pitch is, listen, most people who buy my course, they never use it, right? So if my course is $500, if you don't use it, I'll tell you what I'll do with your Sally Realtor. Most of my satisfied clients, and of course you're kind of embedding that command. Listen, most of my satisfied clients have bought the course because it was a cheap investment. They never used it. So what I'll do is I'll give you, you know, no risk at all. You buy the course, you don't use it, you want to come back for done for you, I'll credit you that $500 back plus $1,000 over 3 months. Right?
There you go.
It's no brainer. I just want to get a client, kind of like the whole ClickFunnels thing, right? You want to do upsells, right?
Yep.
You get them in a super low offer, and you
get them in the ecosystem.
Right.
Yeah. My neighbor just messaged me on Facebook, says, "What you growing down there?" Because he can just see a glowing purple window from his house next door. Oh man, crack me up. But anyways, but yeah, you get them in the ecosystem. Once you have them in the ecosystem, I mean, you can upsell them, you can downsell them, you can get rid of them if you don't like them. I mean, it balls in your court at that point. Prior to that, I mean, you're still selling, right? All that money you put into acquisitions all the time is worth nothing unless you make an acquisition.
Right. You just want to get them in. Even if it's a stupid cheap tripwire. Like I used to do 50 leads with ISA for like $500 or 300, $400. I made no money on it, but I got a client.
Yeah.
You know, and then if I over delivered, cool. I mean, I'd even go to the point where I made no money to give them extra leads. Hey, listen, I told you I gave you 50 leads. I gave you 100 leads. You know,
There you go.
Do you love me now?
Yeah.
That kind of a thing. You know?
Oh man, I love it.
So then, you know, you go into your offer, right? So you want to figure out what your prospect needs, right? Maybe it's not about money. Maybe they want something of value. So for me, you know, if they do a longer package, maybe I'll give them a year or 3 months worth of a certain CRM software, or I'll give them a marketing tool, or, you know, I'll give you 3 months of like a text service, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's kind of like stuff that they actually need versus money. And the better your offer, and the less risk they have, they're going to close. So for me, I offer money back guarantee. Listen, if I don't generate you X amount of leads this month, your next month is free. I'll give you $1,000 for wasting your time.
There you go.
Right. Make the offer something that you can comfortably do, but make it controllable. But if you take out the risk, they're not going to say no. So at least give you a try.
Yeah.
And then we offer discounts for multiple terms. So we try and always go for 3 months, because as you know, like your first close probably isn't for like 3 or 4 months. It's a long sales cycle. And I tell them, listen, sell your realtor, it's great. You know, you're with me for a month, 2 months, you back out. You're just throwing money away, right? Because you probably won't get your first deal for 3 to 4 months. I'm being honest with you, right? So, you know, 3, 6, 9, 12-month packages, I offer different discounts that I prorate over the X amount of months. You know, if they do 3 months paid in full, $9,000, whatever it is, give them a discount, give them something for it, right? Get that commitment so they stay with you. Because once they get their first transaction, they're not going anywhere. They're not. But you have to get to that first transaction to retain your clients. And that was a big mistake I made. Like I was churning clients every like 2 months. Maybe I wasn't setting the proper expectations, but every 2 months I was just losing clients. I had to go find more and do more events, you know, or do more master classes, right? Just wasting more time. We also do auto vesting contracts. So Sally, listen, we're going to do 100 leads at $2,000 a month for the first 3 months. And if we deliver X amount of lab transfers or X amount of appointments, you know, months 4 through 6, we'll go to like 150 leads at X amount of money. So you kind of want to give them the upsell.
Okay.
Most of my clients, I've upsold them from really cheap packages. And the same thing, the escalating contracts. You know, every 3 months, if I do X, you'll do Y, right? You'll go to 200 leads or 300 leads, or you'll add something else to your package.
Okay. Makes sense. So you're basically setting in you know, raises.
That's pretty much it. And listen, with Sally, if I'm not doing what I said I'm going to do, absolutely fire me. In 3 months, if I don't give you, you know, X amount of lab transfers, I want you to fire me. I don't deliver money. And you put it out there.
That makes sense. And if you are doing what you said you could do, why wouldn't they want to do it more?
Right. So if I tell them 100 leads, I usually give them 200 leads anyways. Just because cost per lead is so bad. And I quote $5 a lead for a lead cost.
Yeah.
Like right now, leads are $1 a piece. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
So for your offers, hold on a second. The damn phone never stops. You know, for your offers, like make a guarantee that you can control. Don't be like, you know, well, I'm going to get you a closing in 2 months, right?
Yeah.
Because then that's in their control. And you're going to just set yourself for failure. They're going to hate you. With all their friends, who Ed sucks ass. He told them to do this, but he didn't do it. Lead them down the profit road. Like I said before, so you know what so their average deal is 300,000, 3%. Listen, so I'm going to charge you 3,000 a month. Now you said that if you close one deal, it's 9,000 GCS. So if you close 12 deals or one deal a month with me, you're making $9,000. I'm charging you $3,000. Does that make sense to you? They're not going to say no. If they say no, just hang up on them. As long as they're making money, they don't care.
Right.
You can be in two places at once, right? While you're out working your sphere, doing events, my ISAs are working in the background, just giving you warm appointments.
There you go.
You didn't get to real estate to answer phones. You show houses, write contracts, and make money. That's what you do.
Yep.
And then my biggest thing is, as everyone knows, I'm kind of a dick. All of my ads run from my own accounts, my own pages. No one sees them. If they want to make any changes or they want to change the offer or what I'm doing, my guarantee is void. I don't care. We're done. Now, let me do my job. All right. You don't go to Walmart to get a broken bone fixed. You go to a doctor.
Yep.
Right? Well, kind of the same thing.
No, it makes sense. Is this making sense to everybody who's watching right now? Let us know. Are you enjoying this? If you are enjoying this, put I don't know, rate it 1 to 5. 5 being the most amazing thing you've ever heard. Let's rate it. Rate it. Put it down there. What's the rating? Anyways. Yeah, but that makes sense. I mean, so you're running it all from your own pages, your own ad accounts, your own everything.
Yep.
And are you creating a new ad account for every single client?
Nope.
You're running it from, okay, makes sense.
So I have like 3 different BMs and like 12 different ad accounts. So we have backups. So if something happens to get shut down by Facebook, we just move it over.
There you go.
You can buy BMs everywhere. They're cheap.
Yeah, it's true.
If you try and make your own, Facebook catches on and guess what? That can shut down too. Been there, done that. It's terrible. Kills your business.
Yep. We got 5 plus gold, 10 plus 7, 4.8. Well, who is? You're gonna have to go find something else to watch. 5.5, 5.
I forgot. I think we forgot to tell people anything under 5, we ban from the group, right?
Oh, ban. Dictatorship here.
See ya, Jacob.
No, but let's see. Do you get any pushback about running ads from your own pages?
I do. And I tell them, listen, you're hiring me for a certain reason. Let me do my job. So I'm kind of very blunt.
Yep.
I'm kind of savage, If you're gonna do it yourself, do it yourself. Like don't hire me. But I would never go to a doctor and say, well, I have this when the diagnosis is something else. That's it. I just push back on them. Same thing. If they say, well, how many deals can I close? Like, what's your average close rate? Well, listen, Sally, I can give you 100 leads a month, and on average, we're going to give you 10 live transfers, right? And I have clients who are going to close 1 of those or 0 of those. Some of them may close 4 or 5. Depends on how good of you are of a closer. Like I can bring you to the water and tell you how to drink it, but you have to drink it, right? Mileage may vary, however you want to put it.
I like that. Mileage may vary.
So my biggest revelation was pitching single agents is good.
Yep.
Right? I mean, it works. It's nice. But the teams and the brokerages are where all the money is.
So before we move on to that, I got to say I'm a little disappointed with our audience here because we got 9 people that actually gave you a rating. We got 50 people watching. I don't understand what's going on here. I'm one of the 50 that's watching. I think Matt's the other one. I mean, I don't really know if we should continue on here in you sharing all your secrets here, Ed. And the other thing too is we're not done after this because I want to talk a little bit about your acquisition method as well, because I think there's some really, there's some gold there. But guys, if you're watching, you're enjoying this, come on, show some love here. Give us at least tap the like button or something, because it looks like it put some effort into a slide deck we had no idea he was going to present tonight. So
show us some love, or we're just gonna go make TikToks.
Who's totally addicted to TikTok? Like, seriously.
Oh, right here.
You love it?
Right here. I am like addicted, loving it. I'll tell you what, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with it. I know they recently put an ability to put a link in, so now you can direct traffic with it, and the discoverability on the platform is insane. So it's pretty exciting. Let's do it. I'll interview you for my TikTok. I'm going to ask you what your thoughts are on TikTok. Give me 1 second. All right, we're going to ask Ed Boulanger what his thoughts are on TikTok for real estate. Hang on, let me turn it around. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Oh, unshare it so we can get you on the screen. You got like 8 seconds. Ready, Ed?
I'm ready.
Go.
TikTok is awesome for real estate. Plant those seeds and reap the rewards later.
Boom. There you go. All right, I'm going to post it. Let's get back to the share.
Hey, I'll do a TikTok.
You going to do one too?
No,
Yeah, man.
No. I would not know what to do. That would be my TikTok. Hey, Shane here. Have no clue how to use TikTok, but I'm being recorded.
There you go. Oh, man, I love it. All right, looks like people are coming in. They're liking it. This is gold. Need to hire Ed for some coaching. Doug says stay away from TikTok.
I'm curious to know who anybody that's watching, who's using TikTok? Anybody? Be curious to know how many people are actually using TikTok. Because Matt's been hounding me to do a little bit more. Well, like a month ago it was YouTube, and now yesterday or the day before was TikTok. So
it's Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. They're all kind of things right now. So, anyways,
YouTube is money right now.
What's that?
YouTube is money for sellers right now.
Yeah, it is. It is crazy.
look at that. We got a few people that are using it. We got some people that are deleting it. That's what I did. I deleted it not because I didn't like it, just because how much time I wasted. It was insanely addictive.
It's like a rabbit hole. You just get like sucked down the rabbit hole.
God, it's craziness. All right.
Shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. So this revelation that came to you about brokerages and teams.
So agents are good, but they suck. They're broke. They're with you for a month or two. I can't afford you. The leads suck. Whatever it is. Teams and brokerages are kind of where the money's at, right? But you pitch them differently. So for a single agent, you're pitching a story, right? Jack and Jill went up a hill. The leads sucked, whatever it is. You know, they had all these issues, and I had the cure for them with this brand new system, right? The whatever it is system, right? So for pitching with a brokerage or a team, right, you need a totally new pitch deck. It has to be a win-win. So you need to show your team leader or your brokerage how you can benefit them and their team, right? So Billy broker, listen, Billy, you can retain your agents, right? Instead of like churning and burning through realtors, right? You get a new realtor out of real estate school, they suck. Most agents quit after a year, right? So I'm going to save you time, money, and onboarding costs and training. And listen, my system is guaranteed. You can guarantee your realtors 1, 2, 3, 4 deals a month, depending on how aggressive you want to be, right? You don't have to worry about them being lazy or have a lack of skills, a lack of focus, whatever it is. Most realtors, I think for the most part, just are lazy, right? They watch HGTV and I'm going to sell $1 million homes and just drive in a Mercedes and just be a tour guide. Wrong. That's not how it works. You can have agent growth, right? You can recruit agents right out of real estate school, right? So you don't have to worry about agents who won't make phone calls or won't do open houses because you're going to plug them into the system, right? They're going to get warm leads, appointments, live transfers. They're going to close them, right? They'll at least close, 1 or 2 deals a month. And then you're going to give the agents in the brokerage or the team lead more free time, right? They can go home at the end of the day. Like they leave at noontime and go play golf, knowing that your system is there, right? It's proven. It's going to increase success, profits, and save them time, right? Time is priceless because you can't, if you want to grow your business, you can grow with time or money. It's only 24 hours, right? So you can leverage your money to leverage an ISA team or a lead generation team to give you more profits.
This is really, can we go back to that slide for a second? Because
Sure.
I think this is really important here. My first client was a brokerage, and for a long time, I focused mostly on brokerages and teams.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I learned early on is that they didn't give a shit about more closings. They cared about retention and getting more agents. And that's the key to this. You know, if you're looking to pitch more brokerages, and this just goes back to understanding the industry, right? This is what brokerages care about, is they want to attract more agents to their brokerages. They want to steal agents from the top agents from other brokerages. They want to bring on new agents, and they need to retain those agents. That's critical for them. That's how they make money. That's how brokerages make their money, is from other agents sticking around and making money from their desk fees and, you know, whatever else that they're paying for, and then of course their closings as well. Now, one of the things that comes up a lot too, and I mean, I've always said, you know, and this is not always the case, but you know, there's a reason why they're called brokerages, because a lot of them are broke, right? So, I mean, this is something else to remember. There's a lot of broke brokerages out there too, right? So, how do you find brokerages that are successful and are making money and want this type of system?
So what you do is, and I'll show it in a couple different slides further, is that you show them how it actually makes them money. Right? So especially like the 100% brokerages like your JPower, your Realty One Select, your Fathom, all those small brokerages are like 100%. This actually makes them money, and they can compete. So they're 100% brokerage. Say that their transaction fee is like $500 per deal. You can plug this system in. They can charge their agents 20%, right, to compete with your EXP, compete with your KW, and they're going to make money off of it. So like, so for my brokerage, right, I go after EXP, KW. Hey, listen, you're at EXP, it's fantastic. I was there, I love it. But listen, if that $16,000 cap that you give them, do they actually help you close deals? Right? Do they give you deals? Well, they offer me Op City. Great, with additional 35% in the back end, right? Cool story. You make no money, right? They're crap leads. Listen, you know, for your same split EXP, I'm going to give you warm leads. Book the appointments, so you can still go out and do your open houses. You can work your sphere, work your referrals, right? You can be in 2 places at once. So for that 20% they're going to take from you for this system, I'm going to give you a proven recipe for success. You'll get nowhere else. It's a no-brainer. Absolutely money. Like, like KW, like locally for me, it's like 29 grand, cap of 23,000, $6,000 royalty. You know, for that 36% that comes out, are they giving you deals? Well, they are, but then there's an additional 25% in the back end or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
For 100% brokerage or a small independent brokerage, this is huge. You know, and I let them name it. You know, this is the ABC real estate conversion system. Name it whatever you want. I don't care. Right? This is your proprietary system that you have in place for your agents as a value add. For agent attraction, this is huge. It's a no-brainer. You know, so the ones that are EXP, they left KW because they didn't want to make their market president rich. Right? So right. I don't want to give John Smith, my office owner, $30,000. I don't want to make him rich. I don't want to pay for his electric bill, all that kind of stuff. So I went to EXP. Fantastic, great. Now your $16,000 cap goes to recruiters to make them rich. Your Brent Gove, your Rob Flick, I can go on and on. People who make millions of dollars a year just recruiting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that money's not going back into you to give you deals, is it? It's not.
Right.
With ABC Realty, it is. Right? It's a good UVP that no one else has.
There you go.
So speaking,
what's been the response to that so far?
It's been huge.
Yeah.
People want their own in-house solution to Op City.
Makes sense.
Right? They just get rid of Op City.
Well,
you know, so going into so going into a UVP, right? They can actually sell your service and make money.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, sell the agent. Listen, if you come work with us, I'll guarantee that you'll make at least one closing a month, right? Insert the price point, 250, 3% commission, right? I can guarantee that you'll make, with my system in-house, you'll make 90,000 GCI as a first-year agent. Is that attractive to you? Because guess what? The average agent makes half of that.
Yeah.
Right? Agents can be in two places at once. So they can be at working her sphere, working referrals, doing events, doing networking, doing BNI, whatever it is. While, Bob Broker, his ISA service is, scrubbing leads, booking live appointments and transfers. And agents, they don't want to answer phones. Like, they want to go and show homes and drive fancy cars and go to closings and pick up big checks and drink. Right? Yep. They want those free networking events with drinks.
Yeah.
Right?
Guilty. Guilty.
They can do that now, right? They're going to be happier. And guess what? If they're happier, they're going to produce more, and they're going to tell all their friends, hey, listen, I'm an ABC brokerage, and man, like, I get warm transfers, and it's just additional on what I'm making with my sphere and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Agents can make teams within a team. So if they're ABC brokerage, maybe Sally agent wants to make her own little team. So she buys extra leads from the broker, or whatever it is. And then it's proven, it's scalable. So there's no roller coaster. So at the average real estate agent, I'm going to sell one. I'm a new agent. I sold a home in 3 months. Right? This is awesome. I'm the best realtor ever. And then they have like 3 months with no closing. And what am I doing? I'm going to start drinking more. I hate myself. Worst decision ever. And then they get a closing. They love life. Like, it's just a roller coaster up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the brokerage, right? You get rid of the up and down. You have more of a steady upward trend.
Makes sense. Daniel says, this is gold. Pitched a brokerage with over 100 agents. Thanks, Ed.
No problem, buddy.
I take it you did a little helping out with Daniel. Had some questions, huh?
So what do you need to make a pitch to a team or a broker? So kind of the same thing as a single agent, right? Kind of the same information.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's going to be on a bigger scale. Chances are they're not going to know their ROI. They're just not.
Right.
They suck. So at the start of your pitch deck for a team or whatever, you want to ask, how much you're currently spending on advertising. Are you using Zillow? Are you using Realtor? Why are you using them?
Mm-hmm.
We want to kind of ask questions. What are you spending? Do you know what your cost per closing is with that? Do you know what your ROI is?
And if somebody says that they're not currently marketing, they're not paying for Zillow or any of that stuff, I've heard a lot of digital marketing coaches say stuff like, if somebody's not paying for, some sort of marketing out there, they're not going to pay for you. Do you let that stop you, or do you continue?
No, because I ask them why.
Yeah.
I asked them, I'm pretty point blank, listen, so you're not going to invest in yourself and in your future? Like, do you not believe in yourself? I call them out. Are you cheap? Like, what is, why have you not used any kind of advertising before? And then more importantly, why are we talking?
I love it. Are you cheap? Like, just flat out saying it out.
I mean, if you're not using advertising, then why are we talking? I'm confused.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually start all of my sales calls with Bob Broker or Sally Agent. What card are you using to pay with today? That's my first question. I break the ice. I break the elephant in the room, the money.
Right. What do they say? What do they say when your first question is, or what kind of card are you going to be using today? So
oftentimes they kind of look at me like, whoa, like, what's going on? So if they totally freak out and get nervous, I know that I'm not closing them. All right. Well, right. I have to really focus on what they can make. Because they ask me how much it costs. Listen, Sally, if I cost you anything, please fire me. You should be asking how much money you'll make on your investment. And I never call it like a retainer. You're going to pay me a retainer of $3,000 a month. Your monthly investment is going to be, right? The investment is the key word. Mm-hmm. It kind of takes this thing out of paying me $3,000 a month or $20,000 a month. It's an investment where you're going to get a return on it.
Yeah.
If they say, I'm going to use my American Express, I know I have them. So when I use the ROI calculator, I'm going to use insane numbers. So listen, Bob, you said you wanted to be at 200 deals this year. what if you could do 500 deals? And I show them what it looks like on paper, right? The final number. Wouldn't that be cool? Like, wouldn't you be popping bottles, kissing models, telling all your friends how awesome I am? So you kind of plant that seed, like the old, NLP, embedded command kind of thing.
Yep.
So when you do this, you'll be giving me referrals, right? But saying it in a different kind of way.
Yep.
So how do you track your
embedded commands, tie downs, all that fun stuff?
Do you know your metrics? Do you know your leads to appointments or leads to contact to appointments to closings to ghostings, whatever it is? And listen, Bob, if you're spending X amount of money on Zillow or Realtor, how can that scale? So if you increase your advertising 2X, can they guarantee that you'll make 2X return on it? Like, so if you go from 500 leads to 1,000 leads, well, your closings double. Like, it's going to happen. Because my system will do that. Probably better than that, but but you'll be surprised how many people just don't know. Like, they just throw money. Like for me, when I was focusing on real estate exclusively, I would throw money at everything. Someone would call me, the new shiny object. Cool, here's my credit card.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, you can ghostwrite a book. We have a book that has your name on it. Cool, I'll buy some books. Or, I'll buy this website or I'll buy this sign writer that has a text code. I threw money in everything. Yeah. And I never tracked what I spent.
I did the same thing as an agent. I was like, I'm going to buy this. 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 I'm going to buy this listing presentation and this one and this buyer presentation and this one and this lead gen service and this one. And I mean, it just gets to the point where it's like, oh man, it's been 90 days. I probably need to cancel my credit card and get a new one before these rebill. And I don't know what I got.
But I can never track where it came from.
Right.
Like, there's no way to track if I buy 100 books from Joe Bookseller, how many deals I got from that. I mean, maybe I could down the road.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Everyone else is doing books.
Yep.
How to sell you money for the best, top dollar from the Smart Agents is the bigger one, which is, I think now is Authorify. Right. Same book cover, same, just different name on it. Like, it's just phony.
Yeah.
But I had no idea what I spent. I bought everything.
Don says, where can we get this calculator? Don, it's inside of the Academy program.
You need it. It's money. It's gold.
Yeah. Well, there's another one, right? When people are like, oh, I don't know if I can spend $1,000 to start a business because I would need this course that teaches me everything I need to know how to do it.
Just do it. Just do it.
Right?
If you have any questions, ask Gary Gray about his investment and what it's done for him and where he was at.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
And we're not saying you're going to get to Ed's level because you buy the program. Okay. Ed's done a lot more than just buy the program. And you have to.
I've invested in so much coaching.
Yeah.
I think this year alone, I spent $120,000 in coaching, in courses and systems. And so for me, I'm the good sales guy. But systems and stuff, I don't know. I just pay for it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it. I just pay someone to do it for me. It's just easier.
Yeah.
So, and the reality is that you don't need, obviously the calculator is really nice because it does a lot of things for you, right? And we talk about this inside the Academy. I mean, it sets expectations. It allows you to show the future. It shows the ROI. It shows a lot of different things, right? But at the end of the day, all you need to really do is focus on the numbers, right? Like, you can really build your own here. I mean, it's just, and you don't need a complicated Google spreadsheet or anything like that. As long as you can show that if you do this, you're going to get this. And if you do this, you're going to get this. All right. So if you're spending this much, this is how much is going to come out at the other end. Right. So, and that's the whole point of, that's why I built the calculator, was because I needed something that showed that if they were going to invest a certain amount of money into my program, what can they expect at the end of it? And then when I started playing around with them, like, okay, well, what if they can hit 2.5%? What does that look like? Well, then what if they hit 3% conversion rates? What does that look like? Well, what if they actually put in $3,000 worth of ad spend, or partner up with a lender, or do this or do that? What does that look like in terms of numbers? That's where the calculator is really nice, is that it gives you those numbers on the fly during a sales call, right?
It saves you a lot of time.
Yeah, it saves you a ton of time, but you don't obviously we want everybody to come into the Academy. We love it. And people are getting amazing results and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the point is just, focus on the numbers and show them what they're going to get out of your programs in terms of dollar value, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of it, if they're spending $3,000, show them that they're going to make 500,000 or 300,000 or 150,000, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, here's the math. Like, how do you formulate your offer for ABC Realty or the Matt Kramer team at KW, whoever it is, right? So you want to get a reasonable 12-month goal. So listen, Bob, you said the youth did X amount of deals last year. What is your reasonable goal for next year, right? So whatever that number is, minus their current transactions, is their reasonable gap.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, listen, Bob, listen, I know we have, you want to do X amount of deals. In your perfect world, if you could do X amount of deals, like if you hit this, you would love me forever. What is that number? Is it 300? Is it 400 deals? 500 deals? What is it?
Yeah.
Well, I want to do 500 deals. Great. Right? The bigger the number, the better, because you're going to give them a range. So your stretch goal minus your transaction is your stretch gap. You take that number, divide it by 12. That's your monthly gap. So maybe it's 10 deals a month, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Take your monthly gap, divide it by 1%, is the amount of leads that you're going to need per month, right? Worst case scenario. So if it's 10 deals divided by 1%, they're going to need 1,000 leads or whatever it is.
Yep.
Whatever the
1,000
math
leads.
is. Same thing, right? So if they did 2% or 3%, same thing. Oops. The amount of leads needed times your hard cost. So if they need 1,000 leads a month, right? Take your hard cost, whatever your ad spend is. I always use $5.
Mm-hmm.
Give myself a cushion. If you're paying for any kind of software, if you're paying for ClickFunnels, or if you're paying for whatever it is, factor a little bit of that into your package. Not a lot, because it's the same hard cost across your whole business. Then any kind of ISA cost. So let's just say that your cost per lead is $5, and you're using Gus, your $5. Your $10 a lead is your hard cost. That's your baseline. So your baseline plus your desired profit is your package price. Make it a range. So my hard cost for 100 leads is going to be $1,000. I want to make $1,000, so my baseline is 2,000.
Yeah.
So maybe you give them a range of 1,500 to 2,500, or $2,000 to $3,000, right? And you kind of you can move from $3,000. If you act now, I'll do it for $2,500, whatever it is, right? So act now, as long as you're making what you want to make, right? Make it a range, and then do the ROI on the fly. So if you do X, you'll make Y. Y minus X is your profit.
Boom.
So here's a scenario.
Wait, you missed the last one. You missed the last thing you said there.
What's that?
This needs to be the focus.
It needs to be the focus. So if you're with like ABC Brokerage or the Bob Smith team, right? They're worried about the money. What am I going to make? How am I keeping my agents? How am I getting new agents? To make desk fees, to make transaction fees, right? To make all kinds of money for doing nothing. All I'm doing in them is giving them a system.
Exactly. So
a single agent is all about the story, right? Listen, Bob, Jack and Jill were just like you, right? In my slide decks, I have one is one it's male, one it's female. If I'm dealing with the female realtor, I use the female deck.
Mm-hmm. This
is Jill. I use the real client. This is Jill Smith from ABC Realty. I use her photo, her full name. If they want to call her, they can call her. That's good. It's cool. I don't care. And she was where you were, and this is how she got to where she wanted to go. Yep. But with a brokerage or a team, they're worried about money. They don't care, right? Because they're not going to be selling deals. They're going to be just making money. They're going to be coaching their clients and making money off referral fees, splits, that kind of stuff.
Makes sense.
So brokerage ABC, they have 10 agents. They did 200 deals last year. Their reasonable goal was 300. Their stretch goal was 400. So for their reasonable goal, their gap is 100 leads. 100 leads, the 1% conversion is 10,000 leads. Divide that out monthly, you need about 850 leads, times your hard cost, which is your 8,500, then add your profit margin on top of that. The stretch goal, same math.
Hang on, Nolan. We are still live. No need to hashtag replay.
I was just like, what is Nolan doing? There's no replay here.
Ed, wave your hand so they can see you're still alive. We're still doing this live, everybody. Hashtag live if you're watching live. Hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. Sorry, that just cracked me up for a minute.
Nolan's a comedian.
So this scenario here is like just double the leads, so easier for me to do math, right?
Yep.
ROI calculator or something like it, even so on paper, is a must. You have to use it, right? All the fancy numbers, you need X amount of leads and you're going to do X amount of deals means nothing, right? What's everyone's favorite station? WIIFM. What's in it for me? Radio. I don't care about Bob on the street. Like, what's it mean for me? Like, what am I going to make out of it?
Yep.
Right? Those questions, right? The ones at the bottom that you ask them, you now have the answers to the calculator, right?
Yeah.
If you do X, you'll make Y. And it shows them the consistent growth, right? So the beauty of the calculator is, month 1, you have 100 fresh leads, right? No closings. Month 2, same thing, month 3. Month 4, in the calculator, by working your database, you close X amount of leads, right? So you show them the longer you're with me, the more you make kind of snowballs. Right, and you give them the image of, listen, you can come work with me for 3 or 4 months. It's great. You'll probably make your money back. But if you want to make real money, stick with me for a year. And oh, by the way, if you do that, I'll give you a deal on pricing. I'll give you a tool for your team, right? Kind of sweeten the deal a little bit.
Yep.
And then sell the dream, right? There's no more deal roller coaster. You're not going to worry about where your next deals are coming from, right? Sell agent fresh out of school, worried about she's gonna need a closing this month or a paycheck, right? There's no more. It's steady, it's scalable. They can track their spending. A big one is they have peace of mind, right? So they know that the leads will be nurtured by your ISA team. They're not worried about buying leads from Sync or wherever. They're worrying about their agents going to actually follow up, because agents don't follow up. They don't make phone calls.
It's true.
You tell your clients, call the agent or call the leads. Well, I gave them a text. No, just call them. Call them within 5 minutes, whatever it is. So they can be in 2 places at once. And then there's no more micromanaging. So the broker, the team lead, can be out working a deal with a new builder for to list all their new construction. Or they can be out making deals, networking, doing C-level things, and not worrying about Becky broker making phone calls, right? That's taken off their plate, which is huge. So Bob the broker, you can go out and do what you do best, which is network and make deals, right? Make partnerships. You're not being a slave to your team anymore. And that's it for that.
They're working on the business, not in the business.
Correct.
I love it.
That's it.
So you basically just gave us all the secrets. So you basically just gave us all the secrets to how you have gone to over 800,000 a month.
The real secret is just work hard. Like, I'm not the best at what I do, but I'll work harder than most. So it's like right now I have 14 employees, VAs, client success managers, and I still work 14 hours a day.
Yeah.
I still just hustle.
Yep.
So I'll outwork everyone else.
There you go. And currently you said you're focused on major teams, bigger teams, brokerages, and so on currently. Are you still taking on individual agents, or is it 100% you're focused on the high end?
So, I'll take on smaller agents, and then those I kind of outsource to different people. So I don't do that in-house anymore. So, I have a couple people that I love that do like white labeling for me.
Yep.
Which are fantastic. If anyone wants good white label partners, I have some that I love.
Who's that?
Jesse Risky is really good. Alexander, awesome.
Yep.
Kyrie is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse works with Austin Benton, who's freaking phenomenal. Austin's kind of changed my business model. He's fantastic. But those people that I give my accounts to, I don't even worry about it.
Right. And they do all the managing and everything as well.
Worth it. Worth every single penny.
I love it. I love it. Shane has disconnected. Oh, he's back. He's back. Okay.
Yeah,
Having
I'm
internet
back.
problems here.
Bloody internet, man. Oh my
Amateur.
God. Any
What is this?
Canadians out there, man, don't use Bell.
What is this, amateur hour?
Bell 5 sucks.
So Ed, what is the plan now? I mean, you're at a number where, I mean, a lot of people would be like, I don't even
Plan
know.
is he's going to take us out for dinner. We already talked about this.
That's it, man.
He's flying us out to Charlotte, taking us out for dinner.
Hey, there's some sweet go-kart tracks over there. So
Nice.
I'm in.
I mean, I just want to keep growing. So my goal has always been that in 2027, I'm retiring.
Okay.
I'll be 50, so I'm going to retire when I'm 50, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm super excited to actually go to funnel hacking next year, get my 2 Comma Club award. I already qualified.
Boom.
I know this sounds silly,
Nice.
but it's always been like a dream of mine.
Yeah.
I pay
Good promotion too, right? Like, I mean, you're going to be,
Yeah.
you know, you'll be on the list as well. It's good marketing. So, I mean,
I pay stupid money for it every month, but I want the hardware. It's crazy. Like the silly things that get me going.
you're like
I was
Matt.
Well, I mean,
Same
you're gonna
with
be on
Matt.
you're gonna be on the way for the 10 million pretty soon here.
Close.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You gonna
awesome.
make it by next Funnel Hacking Live?
I might.
There you
So
go.
I need to get to 840 a month for 12 months.
Okay.
So that's interesting. So you're pushing all of your retainers, like basically all of your stuff through ClickFunnels to hit those numbers.
Pay funnels. Everything goes through pay funnels.
Everything through PayFunnels. That's awesome.
Which PayFunnels is a ClickFunnels thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like an invoicing,
Yeah.
but
I
it
didn't
goes
even know
through
that was a thing.
ClickFunnels.
So
Yeah,
that's how it all gets tracked. So you
I have to
it's
look
super
that up.
easy. Yeah, super easy to use, and
so you have to, and it's fully automated too. So my onboarding now is like I click a button and everything else is done for me.
Mhm.
Which if you're not doing that, like you have guys like Franbo, which are awesome. Like a lot of people in the academy are freaking rock stars.
Mhm.
Like if you need help, ask them, pay them. It's worth it. Don't do what I did, and like struggle and do it all by yourself. Just don't do it, man. Just hire them.
I love
It's
it.
easier.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what kind of questions do you have for Ed? We've got him here. We're about an hour and a half in. And obviously Ed is a busy guy, but in the meantime, what questions do you have for him? We've gone through all sorts of information, some real gold, some big bombs have been dropped tonight. A lot of value. I've seen everybody thanking you, saying how awesome it was, but I'm sure there are some questions. Let me see. Taylor, I missed the first half. Was there more about ISAs? We didn't get that into ISAs. Ed, do you want to tell us a little bit about what role the ISAs play in your business?
So the ISAs are kind of huge. So none of my clients do not use an ISA.
And for those of you who don't know what an ISA is,
Inside sales agent.
Mhm.
It's like Becky, the time life operator. She answers all your phone calls for you.
Yep.
So I use a couple different ones. I use ISA Experts, which is a Elite's company back then.
Mhm.
I was able to weather the storm. They're still doing well for me.
Okay.
yeah, they had a big storm when they got purchased, right? Yeah.
So for a lot of my smaller accounts or like 500 leads, like I love Austin, and here's the reason why I love him is he's like 6 bills for up to 250 leads. So what does that do for me, right? So if I get a new client on and I say, listen, my base package is 100 leads, right? But for the first month, I'll give you 200 leads. My ISA cost is the same, right?
Wow.
So it's just ad spend. So I can over deliver the hell out of it and give them 250 leads and spend an extra $200 in ad spend, and I'm a hero.
Right.
We got Austin coming on at the end of the month too, talking about his services. So
He is legit. So
excited to hear about it. Yeah, good guy.
So the good thing about him is like you use one Zap and then you put his chatbot ref URL in your thank you page.
Yeah, on the thank you page. Yeah,
It's all done for you.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
So especially now with like COVID, I'm giving all my people more leads, and actually cut their retainers back a little bit.
Mhm.
So I can do that with him because now my hard cost is my hard cost, right? What I liked about Alita was it was, you know, $900 for 200 leads or whatever it was. And then every 200 leads was like $300.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a volume discount. So I could give big brokerages in the same deal on the higher packages.
Okay.
You know, to make it more appealing.
Yeah, she did, and she had a really good pricing model.
She did.
Just that whole stuff that happened there with their buyout really screwed up their system, you know.
Nuts.
And their callers are good too. Just, you know, from some of the calls that I listened to, it's just like when you go through, you know, what they went through and just the growth and so on, it just starts to screw up a lot of different things, you know. So, anyways, we'll just, it is what it is, right? So,
but I think with Austin as well, like the live transfers are kind of a game changer.
yeah.
You know, so you won't get, so other ones you might get like 20% booked to an appointment. Maybe, you know, they don't show, you know, but with him, I'm getting 8 to 10 to 12 live transfers per 100. And then there's no worrying about, you know, the appointment not showing up.
Yeah.
Then you can put that back on the agent. Listen, I gave you a warm transfer who said they're ready to go. If you can't close them, it's on you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can't close them, hey, listen, I have this cool course 24/7 that gives you the videos and the script. So you go back to your value add, which that white label, if people aren't using it, use it. Dude, it's money. It's just like all the tools you need to give your clients success.
Oh, I love hearing that.
Like just insane value.
So we got a couple of questions here coming in for you. One of them coming in from William here. Do you automate your onboarding with Go High Level?
I do not.
There you go.
So,
easy question.
we use Salesforce.
Okay. Did you get a custom build out or is it just standard Salesforce?
Custom build out.
Okay, nice.
Alex here.
Are you selling your framework?
No.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh man, love it.
Alex, one of our original members actually inside of the Academy. Alex, what's going on? Nice to see you here. He asks, Ed, what does your day look like?
So I get up at 5 a.m. on like 3 or 4 hours of sleep. So from like 5 to 8, I do a lot of my bulk work where no one bothers me. So I'll get more done in 3 hours than I will the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of my day is all just taking demo and sales calls. So I do all my own sales still.
Okay.
Just because I love that. It's like I live to sell shit. You know, and doing that, I've gotten better and better.
Right.
So I'll do sales calls all day. All of my fulfillment, all of my onboarding, my client success coaches, all done by my employees. So I just do sales all day, which I love.
And I think that's an important part of this business, which a lot of people forget about, right? I like
the sales or enjoying what you do.
The sales part.
Nobody cares if you enjoy it.
It's not about growing business is not about enjoying it. It's about selling.
It's about a shitload of work.
It's about exactly. If I want to enjoy my life, I'm going to the beach and traveling the world. That's enjoying life, right? It's not like sitting at home in front of a computer or on the phone selling real estate agents. That's not. Right. I don't know, but I mean, it might be okay. But is it that much fun? I don't know. But I mean, no, I think the whole point is that I think a lot of people forget, like once you get into this, right? So many people are focused on the back end systems and like building ads and all this other crap, right? Where at the end of the day, you really should, like, if you're looking to scale your business and really grow a business, it's about the sales side of it.
I mean, I think you just find what you're good at or what your passion is, then delegate the rest. So like if you're
so if you love building ads for real estate agents, then delegate the sales side of it.
Right.
But the reality, like I think it's really, really tough. Like if you get into this and you want to build your business and you hate the sales side of it, or you don't want to do the sales side of it, I think that becomes a really tough business. How the hell do you like, I don't know. If you don't want to do the sales side, you might as well partner up with somebody that wants to do it. Right. I think that's like, you know, then you can focus on the tech side. But I mean, building a business is about sales. Mm-hmm. It's tough if you're not into the sales side, or at least not willing to learn how to sell. We got John here says, what's the worst mistake you've made as well as the best thing you've done, Mr. Ed?
So the best thing I've done is just kind of go fast and break shit and then fix it later. So my biggest thing was I'm not going to wait until I have all my systems. I'm just going to go out and get a shitload of clients.
That's what you did, right? Right in the beginning.
I did. And it was a love hate. Like I loved it. It was great. It was like a really good high. Then I'm like, well, I can't fulfill. So I had like people waiting 2 weeks to get an ad done. Right? Before I let go, I had a hard time letting go of things. I'm kind of a control freak in that aspect. Like no one does it as good as you.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing that later through like talking to Brett and talking to people who had like automated their system, that like that's kind of mindless things, like just write a SOP and pass it off.
Well, that's another problem too, and it's something that I ran into like early on is like finding good people. That was a really, really difficult thing for me. I went through I think 3 of the like and quote unquote best marketers out there, right? And they ended up being, shitty marketers that I just ended up paying a whole lot of money to run my ads for me. And then the next thing you know, like they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. You're spending $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month on paying these people, right? And I think that's one of the really nice things about the private group as well. Like in terms of finding like good marketers that are actually doing a really good job and really care about what they do, and also being able to network with them to find out who they're using as well. And in the same way, well, even in this group too, like even, bringing on guys like you and then people reaching out to you and saying, okay, well, listen, who you using for fulfillment, right? And who you happy with. And I think there's a lot of value, but like 3 years ago, there was none of that. You're kind of relied on, who's throwing up posts about, $2, CPLs and stuff. And I was like, hey, I see that you do ads for real estate agents. Can I hire you for $6,000 a month?
Right.
It's like, it was a lot tougher back then.
So I think the worst thing I did was I waited too long to get systemized. So kind of like the good and bad are kind of the same thing. So for a while I was super burnt out, right? Working a ton of hours. I kind of hated what I did a little bit, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Loved that I was doing, but hated because I was like, man, I get people who are waiting for 2 weeks to get fulfilled. They're up my ass. Right. So that was the worst part, making people wait. So then I'm like, cool, I'm gonna automate and systemize, and I'm gonna get out from underneath my brokerage, my marketing business, and then I just can't give it up. I had this dream. I'm gonna hire sales guys, and I'm gonna kind of just kick back and collect money, and I can't do it.
So one of the things I started finding out with like when you start building a systems and you start systemizing stuff, right? Like your onboarding process and your invoicing and you're getting people to actually create your ads and things like that, you actually start enjoying your agency a little bit more, right? And then so one of the things I found myself doing, especially when it started to become like a lot of work, is I was actually sabotaging my sales calls. And just sabotaging them because I knew I was too busy to take on somebody else. But as soon as you start implementing systems and you can onboard somebody in 3 minutes, meaning that like your systems are going to actually take care of it. So everything from, your contract to your invoicing to fulfillment, all that takes 3 minutes of your time, which is basically just inputting the information and getting them moving forward. Then you start actually enjoying bringing on more customers, and actually the sales side of it starts to become a little bit more enjoyable, because I knew there was a point there where it was like, fuck it, I hate this shit. Like, I don't want to do this anymore, just because it's so hard to onboard. It's so hard to put up an ad when it takes me 20 minutes. Like, it literally takes like 15 minutes to put up an ad, but when it's 15 minutes out of a 14-hour day, it's a lot. It's too much.
No, it makes sense. Now, Sean says, I've noticed a general apprehension from some agents to ISAs. Can you bring more light to this and maybe how to get over the objection? So I'm guessing some people don't want an ISA calling their leads. Ed, how do you deal with that?
So first of all, I ask them, how their agents are, how are you answering your phone calls? Like, what's your conversion rate? And or what is your protocol when you get a new lead? And they may say, well, I send them a text or an email or whatever, Basically, I tell them, listen, I have an ISA that I can guarantee your success. If you want to do it on your own, I cannot guarantee that you'll have, X amount of appointments per leads or whatever it is. Like my guarantee then becomes null and void because I have no control, right? You came to me because you had a problem. I'm going to tell you how to fix it. At the same time, listen, you can be in two places at once. So listen, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, you can be out doing your open houses, your events, and then I'm doing all the crap work in the background. Like you didn't do real estate to answer phone calls, right? You want to show homes. That is the best and highest use of your time.
Makes sense.
And so one of the, and I know, but just because I'm looking at the time here, we're going on almost 2 hours here. I want to talk to you, Ed, a little bit about your acquisition method. Maybe we can end with that because I always think it's a big, acquisition is a huge thing, right? Everybody struggles with acquisition. Even, back in the last time you came on Whiskey Thursday, we talked about acquisition. And so we already know how you do it. We already know your secrets. In fact, we teach some of, what you were doing originally inside of the academy now. People that are watching, is this something like you guys want to talk a little bit about acquisition, find out how Ed was originally acquiring customers and what he did and things like that? He's got a really innovative acquisition model. I'm kind of curious to know if anybody wants us to dig into that maybe for the next 15 minutes before we let go of Ed here. Actually, maybe next 10 minutes. Sorry, Ed, for taking up so much time.
Well, here, let's do lightning round on the questions we have here. And then if people are interested in the other stuff, we'll jump in.
Let's do it.
Lightning round. Let's see. What's the best copy of the seller's secret campaign? No, stop it.
Fuck it. Move on.
How do you light a fire under your team's ass to close double digits?
You call them out. Hey, listen, I have a brokerage in wherever who's like just kicking your ass. I make it a competition.
Yeah. Gamify it. I love it. Alex, Ed, you are an agent, but you found that you can make more money as a marketer. Is that right?
Absolutely. And if you want to be a marketer, you should get your license. If you have more questions, ask me. I'll tell you how you just leverage the hell out of it.
And people can just message you if they have questions?
Yep.
Boom. There it is, guys. Watch his friend's request blow up. No. Let's see. Alex says, Shane Hillier, I love your lives so much.
Yeah, they're not just mine. They're also Matt's.
Thanks, Alex.
Alex is
that's
part
the
of
end of the questions, guys. We're no. We got
Alex. Alex is part of the original beta program.
Yeah.
So like way back, like
way back.
It was like 12 people
original.
or something. Yeah. He's like, I trust in Shane. I'm like, oh God.
There you go. Chuck says, if you're spending all day doing sales calls, you must have a good system to generate appointments. Do you have a sales team that does your cold outreach that sets the appointments for you? And how are you generating appointments for yourself? We're diving into that in just a second, Chuck. So we're going to skip it for now. But Christian says, how do you qualify your appointments? I think we're getting into that too as well. Let me make sure. Did you build out your systems and SOPs and go high level?
Nope. Pay somebody
else did it for you. And can they hire that person as well?
Sure.
Perfect. Reach out that if you want to know who it was. But in the meantime, all right, let's get back into acquisitions. How are you getting all these appointments generated? What are you doing? How are you qualifying them?
So I'm still doing live events.
Mm-hmm.
Right, they're huge. So right now with the whole COVID thing, do a Zoom, right, and then order them delivery food.
Dude, that's awesome.
God, that's so good. Yeah, I love that.
Oh my gosh, man. Somebody says, hey, I'll get you DoorDash if you do a meeting with me. I'm on.
Right? Just do it.
I'm not that busy. DoorDash?
Okay, so let's go. But before we get okay, so now it's fine with the COVID and all that. It's going to eventually end and we're going to get back. But so you started doing live events is what you started. So I'm assuming that the paid pitch that was in the academy kind of inspired you to go. I mean, thank God for that because gosh, I can't remember her name now. Cheryl, right? Sorry. Yeah. I think she was closing 14, 15, 16 clients at a live event on $1,000, $1,500 a month, right? And what? So I'm guessing crazy numbers, $17,000 in 4 hours, right? She was closing clients right on the spot. Yep. She did a masterclass inside of the REMCM group here. We took that masterclass. We threw it in the academy. Cheryl's part of the academy. She's always offered tons of help for that stuff. But that's what you started out with, is going out there and started pitching in front of people.
Yep. So I would hustle. I would drive as far as 2 hours each way to go do a masterclass. Or I would drive 4 hours each way if I could book 2 classes. So I was doing 2 to 3 classes a day, 5 days a week, right? And it was just pure value. I partnered with a lender.
So what did you do? Like, did you call up like brokerages and say, hey, listen, this is what I do. I do live training for real estate agents. I'm willing to come in, do this for a couple hours for you guys. Is that what you were doing?
So luckily I had contacts. So I had a leg up, right? So I had the people in my database that I knew. So I'd make phone calls. Hey, listen, Bob Broker, listen, what are you doing to help your agents close more deals? Well, I'm doing this. Listen, Bob, I'm super excited about this new thing I'm doing for my own team, right? And I want to share it with you, right? Do I have your permission to go and do an hour-and-a-half class, no sales pitch? I'll show you exactly what I'm doing, right? What I'm doing to generate leads from my team. And by the way, I'll have a mortgage broker come in or a home inspector who will pay for lunch for you, right? And the reason I do this is because, you know what? All my vendors pay for my advertising. You know what? And I can show you that too. So it was never a pitch. It was just planting seeds.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd go to the Smith team at ABC Brokerage, teach 15, 20 people. Some of them would reach out on their own, like one-on-one, like, oh man, it's really cool. And like, you showed me what you did, but I can't do it myself. Can I hire you?
Yeah.
And then that became team leads, seeing the value where they can like use it to recruit agents. It kind of snowballed, but it probably took me 4 weeks and maybe like 20 classes before I got real traction on it. But I was just given free value, free knowledge. For those who don't have a network, just go to like Real Estate Mastermind, go to Lab Coat Agents, go to local Facebook groups.
Or walk into a local brokerage. These guys love free training, especially if you're offering lunch.
Can I give you free training for your agents? Nothing in return. I just want to share my knowledge. And if you see value in what I'm giving you and you want to learn more about it, certainly call me. But in no way is this a sales pitch.
Well, and the other thing too, and we did this through the 14-day challenge, right? The one we had a few months back.
That was killer.
Everybody knows an agent, right? The first place you should start is in your own network. Reach out to your mom and dad. Like, you guys, who sold you your house? Like, what agent, right? And reach out to the rest of your network and the family members, cousins, distant uncles, and just start asking about like who's the best real estate agent out there, right? Everybody's going to tell you who the best real estate agent is. Right. So, and just start reaching out to those guys, right? Because those are, at the end of the day, it's a warm lead. It's it's kind of like a referral, right? Mm-hmm. And I always love that strategy of reaching out to people, because when you reach out to them, you can just say, hey, by the way, Joe, my uncle, told me you were the best real estate agent out there. I'd love to have 5 minutes of your time. They're never going to say no. They will never, ever say no, because they're so afraid to lose Joe as a client.
Right.
They'll give you the time of day.
And the funny thing is, if you do a class for Joe Silzel and his team or whatever, and you do a good job, he'll tell his other realtor friends, hey, listen,
all of a sudden you'll start getting invited all over the place.
Matt came into this awesome class and gave us massive value. You call him and check it out. Like,
don't go to Matt's class. It's just be a bunch of racing cars and go-karts.
It'll be a blast. We'll have fun.
So I think the beauty is that you get your name out there and you become the expert without actually pitching, without going into a Facebook group and saying, oh, if I can give you two more closings a month, right? It's no longer a pitch. You're giving value. You're the expert.
Yeah.
And they will reach out to you.
Yeah, it's awesome. So let's dig in. Again, I'm just, I'm aware of the time as well, but I really want to share this one nugget, which I think, when you started, I met, months or like a year ago, 2 years ago, I had a guest on that had a similar acquisition strategy that you did, but you came and you started talking about it. You started actually utilizing it. You're probably one of the first inside of the academy.
Well, they were an agent who was utilizing it. You remember that?
Right. You're a marketer that actually implemented this system. which I think, like, you know, when you started talking about it, I was like, wow, this is, and in fact, we've had people buy the Academy just to watch that section of the Academy. So what's his name? James Cluster was one of them. He actually utilizes it for, he was wanting to implement it not for real estate, just for completely different industry, but he wanted to see how it was done. So do you still utilize that strategy?
I do. So it's amazing. So that's kind of like, you know, like in your demo deck, right? You give them a guarantee, but then you lessen the risk, right? So listen, you know, Bob Brooker, listen, you know what? I'm a realtor too, right? I get it, right? You hemorrhage money every month. You pay for this, pay for that, everything else, right? So you have a lender that you love. You know, I love Michael Mortgage. Great. You know, what does Michael do to help you close deals? Well, he answers the phone. Great. Does he give you referrals? Does your home inspector give you referrals? Well, no, it's a one-way street, right? They always have their hand out. Like I call them like the beggars in the corner with the little hat on the, you know, playing their guitar. You know, help them get you more deals, right? Help make them pay, right? I call it pay to play. And actually, Chris Waters is amazing, and I was blown away by his interview with Matt. So I've watched it 15, 20 times. No shame.
Sorry about that, Ed.
And so I've started using some of his things now for my own team to go outside of like the real estate area for vendors. But listen, you know, Bob, I believe so strongly in my system, what it can do for you. Let me help you pay for it. Let me show you how I pay for it for my team, right? It's a no-brainer. Even if they get.
Well, at one time, sorry to interrupt, but at one time you were using, if you're paying for marketing, you're doing it the wrong way.
Yep.
Is what that was your kind of your like, that's how you went into some of your pitches, right?
Right.
If you paid for marketing or paid for leads, you're doing it the wrong way.
Right. You know, let me show you a different way.
Yeah. So Thomas is asking Chris Waters. I don't know. I think the interview is actually inside the Academy, if I'm not mistaken.
Amazing.
I think we threw it up in there. Yeah.
Watch it. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's genius. So let's go over, we call it the Rockstar acquisition. Like, we had to find a name for it. So we call it, the Rockstar acquisition method, right? Really quickly, just give us a sort of an overview of what that looks like in terms of like from the marketer's perspective and how this benefits the real estate agents.
Let me share my screen. I'll open up a Word doc.
Let's do it.
Boom, more value.
Ladies and gents, if you are still here, hashtag listen, Bob.
Listen, Bob.
Yes, Jolene said it earlier, and I loved it because Ed has said, listen, Sally, listen, Bob, listen, Joe, like so many times, and now this is perfect. So if you guys are still here, hashtag listen, Bob, in the comments down below. Ed's about to show you some goals.
And this is actually this is actually a really, like, you can modify this to any other industry.
You can.
Which I think is really cool.
So this should look familiar. This is in the class, the cold outreach, right? Yellow pages or whatever, right? All the objections. That's in the course. For a warm vendor, what I use for my scripts, right? So I'm leveraging my current providers to give me more business, right? We want to grow together, right? That's the big thing, right? We want to grow together. You know, it's simple. Say, hey, listen, Bob, this is Ed with ABC Realty. How you been? How's business? How's the family? Right? You're for, you're fraud them. You know, you get kind of caught up. You tell them about your recent deal, or you ask them about their recent deal, what they have in the pipeline. Hey, Bob, you know, what'd you do for mortgages last month? 10. Oh, it's a bad month. You did 5. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Right? Gives you kind of ammunition to go further. Right? Listen to the story, congratulate them, yada yada yada. Hey, listen, Bob Morgan. Listen, I'm stoked. Like, I'm super over the moon about this new marketing program I'm using. I'm gonna invest in. Right? It's gonna allow me to do more business in less time. So I can be in 2 places at once, Bob. Right? I'm going to the next level. Right? So as you know, like, you can grow your business with time or money. Right? I only have so much time in a day. Right? I'm with buyers, or you're talking to people who have 500 credit who blew up your phone because they want a down payment assistance program, whatever it is, right? Hit their pain points. Listen, you know, I know that you and I built our business together, right? We've kind of grown together, right? Put my faith in you. Listen, if I tell my client, Becky Buyer, you're awesome, right? I'm putting my reputation in your hands, right? I fully trust you with what you're doing. This is a way for us to do more deals together on top of what I'm already giving you. So Bob, I'm giving you 12 deals a year. What if I gave you 20 deals a year?
Boom.
Right? Would you help me get there? Can we do this together? Right? Are you doing marketing? Are you paying for lead generation, for refis, or for purchase? Right? Let's work together. Hopefully they'll say, cool, what does that look like? Why would I do that? What does it look like? Right? Never do it over the phone. Hey, listen, let's go grab coffee. Let's go grab lunch. Right? I want to kind of show you what I'm doing, because doing it over the phone doesn't know justice.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I do that? So you go through, put my reputation in your hands, yada, yada, yada. It's mutually beneficial, but I want to grow more. I want to grow together. We want to partner. So you go through yes, no, yes, whatever it is. And they're going to worry about RESPA, right? So you tell your lender, hey, listen, give me $500 a month towards ad spend. Yeah, but RESPA, and if someone files a complaint, they're gonna get us in trouble. Well, cool. Guess what? My marketer Ed, he bills you separately. He bills you for a consult service. He bills you for microdermabrasion. He bills you for whatever, right? There's no so there's no tie there. So if Sally Agent has Becky Buyer has a 580. You get pre-approved in March. COVID hits. They had an overlay for FHA to 640 now. She doesn't qualify. She gets angry, right? She calls Sally Agent, oh, you told me that Michael Mortgage was the best, and now I don't have a loan. I'm going to be homeless, whatever it is. I'm going to call and file a complaint. So she calls the commission, files a complaint against you. Sally told me that Michael was the right guy, and she told me that I had to use him and whatever. Now there's no paper trail. There's no tie, right? You have plausible deniability, right? Which is why I always say, find 2 lenders, find 2 inspectors, find 2 insurance agents. A, because you give them a choice. Hey, listen, Becky, I really love Michael and Bob. Michael's better with first-time home buyers, and Bob is better with VA, FHA, right? They're both good guys. Take your pick. Right? She's not steering them towards one person paying for your marketing. Also, the beauty in that is if you're paying $500 in ad spend, now you're asking Bob for $250 and Joe for $250, right? So you're asking them for less money. So you're kind of making your own little personal B&I group. Yep. So in B&I, you're not quote unquote paying for leads, but you're paying a yearly fee to be part of a B&I, and you're doing your one-on-ones, and you're doing your weekly meetings at 7 a.m. on a Wednesday. So you're still paying for it with time.
Right. And you're still paying like what, $600 a year for those things?
$800 for some of them. And then of course, how much did I ask for? I asked the vendors, what are you spending on advertising? If these questions look familiar, it's from the deck. I use it for everybody. Mm-hmm. What are you spending on advertising? How are you tracking your ROI? Do you know where your cost per acquisition is? Do you know where your cost per close is? They're going to say no. They don't know. Mm-hmm. How are you tracking your KPIs? How can you scale? If you're using cold outreach, Mr. Moving Company, if you're spending $1,000 in Yellow Pages, you spend $2,000, how are you tracking if you do twice the business? You don't know. There's no way to track it. And it goes through, how to figure out how much to ask for, how to track it, that kind of stuff.
Makes sense.
So the whole idea for people that don't understand, because I don't really think we went into like what this actually is. What we're doing here is you're actually going out, getting a network of vendors. You're requesting that they pay $100, $200, $500 a month into this pool, which you use to generate the leads for the real estate agents, and you're collecting all of that money. And then essentially your real estate agents pay nothing for lead generation.
That gets rid of the money objection. Well, I can't afford you. Well, cool. Let me help you pay for that. So here's even the better part, the flip side of that. So you have Sally Agent. She's like, well, I don't have any vendors. So what I do is, cool, Sally, I can find you vendors to help pay for this. In exchange for my time, I want $200, $500 one-time fee. I'll then go into a Facebook group, a real estate group, and I'll post looking for recommendations for an HVAC person in Charlotte. All the realtors will all chime in. So I'll have a list of 10, 15, 20 people that are HVAC people. I'll call them, I'll get the information, I'll call them. Hey, listen, I have clients in here that are looking for HVAC and stuff. And listen, you were referred by Sally agent. How well do you know Sally? So you go through your cold outreach script, right? I have agents who are looking to partner with different vendors. If you get their commitment, so they're going to commit $100 to Sally agent or whoever it is. Mm-hmm. Hey, listen, so, let me ask you a question. So if you want to partner, listen, I was told by Sally that you're the best. Would you want to help with Sally if she was, on board with doing lead generation with me, right? So the person who you used to get the referral for the vendor, you then try and get money for her to give her a value prop, right? So you skin the cat twice. So you're getting someone to help pay for your real estate agent that you're trying to get money for. At the same time, you're getting a warm lead. Hey, listen, Sally, I talked to Bob. He's awesome. He's doing these really cool things. Listen, Bob had mentioned if you want to do some advertising, he'll help kick in towards it. Do you want to learn more? They never say no.
Right.
So that is.
What an amazing way to retain your clients too, right? Like you guys want to increase your retention rate on real estate agents. Like this is what you need to do.
Yep.
Because they're not going anywhere if they've got partners spending money and paying the marketer.
Right.
Which is crazy, right?
And then listen, Sally, I do all the billing for you. So after you play, all you gotta do is show homes and write contracts. Does that make sense to you? What's you gonna say? No.
Right. And Don says, Ed, out of the entire business, how many of those types of structures do you see coming together?
So for the ones I pitch, about 85%. A lot of that, I do all the heavy lifting. Like they don't want to make phone calls, so I do it for them. I charge them $500.
And Alex says, is mastering sales the number one high income skill?
Yes.
In your agency, I'm guessing.
Yes. Sorry, hang on a second. I think we just missed that. Hang on. Go back to what you just said, Ed. You went over that very, very quickly. So if you are going out and finding the vendors for this group marketing type of arrangement where vendors are paying for the marketing, essentially that's what you're doing, right? You're growing a group of vendors. So, and this can be anything from HVAC people to roofers to inspectors, insurance, moving companies, like
storage facilities. Yep.
Storage facilities, lenders obviously would be a big one as well. If you're growing that, and if the agents are willing to go out and find their own partners to start paying $200, $300, $500 a month to build up that sort of, I guess, the money required to run the lead generation, then you don't charge for that, right?
Correct.
If they have their own partners, right?
However, if they say, well, I don't want to do it, I don't have a network, I offer to do it for them, it's $500. And typically I'll have their vendors lined up in 2 hours. It's super simple.
So you're charging. So on top of getting the money for the marketing from the vendors, you're charging the real estate agent to actually go out and find the vendors for them.
So if the agent won't do it themselves, I say, listen, I get it. Not everyone wants to ask for money. I'll do it for you, but my time is money. It's $500. $500 investment, and I will get you a couple thousand a month paid for. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. And the vendors always say yes, right?
They almost always say, as long as you pitch it with the ROI,
Yeah.
I always use, listen, if I had a money machine or an ATM and you put $1 in, and then in 12 months you get back $6, but that makes sense to you. They're not going to say no. Okay, cool. Do you have 5 minutes where I can explain to you what that looks like for you, for your business? Yeah.
It's awesome. And you can scale this really big. Like Chris Waters, the interview, I mean, what was he doing that? Like 35,000 a month?
Crazy.
30, 60, something like that a month. That's crazy.
He eventually
scaled
car dealerships and all kinds of other people, right? And then wasn't he putting together like welcome baskets with like gift cards for cars,
yeah,
gift certificates for new cars and things like that. And he was charging the car dealerships. It's an amazing
brilliant.
way
That's brilliant.
Yeah, and I think it definitely. I'm pretty sure the interviews inside the academy. If it's not, we should get it in there because it's an epic interview. It's so good. Yeah, we should definitely get it in there. But yeah, guys, if you're looking for ways to cover the ad spend for your agents, obviously the lenders has always been a big thing. Get the lenders to pay for at least half of it, right? That's been a big one. But going out and finding other vendors like the inspectors, the HVAC people, the roofers, anybody else that can benefit from more leads from the real estate agents, you can charge $200, $300, and it adds up, right?
It does. So actually, Olivia had posted a list of vendors in the private group.
Mm-hmm.
Like 150 vendors to use. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's wild, man.
I love it. I love it. All right, with that, we are at 10:15 already. A little over 2 hours, Ed. This has been amazing. You guys, I know there's still some questions in there, so we'll try and get to those in the comments later. But in the meantime, we just want to say thanks so much for jumping back on. You're clearly busy. You're clearly working hard out there, and we appreciate you being here. Any parting words? Where can people find you? TikTok or
TikTok? Yeah, they can now.
Facebook Messenger.
Okay.
If you send
inside
me
the group, Ed's always there.
Yeah, if you send me a message, I don't get to you. Ask for my number, because the problem is people ask, will message me in Facebook, and then I'll get like 30 more messages. So if I don't get you, don't take it personal.
Yep.
Ask me for my cell. My cell's always on me. That's how I make money. That's the best way to reach me.
Love it.
But always willing to help out.
Any parting words or advice for any new marketers or experienced marketers alike?
Work hard. Just work really hard. Take the time to learn. Mm-hmm. And then when you learn, just bust your ass. Do it for 3, 4, or 5 months, because it's kind of like making popcorn, right? So you have your little pot or whatever, you put the oil in and your kernels in, and you're working hard, right? It's heating up and whatever, but it takes time to actually pop, right? So you're gonna work your ass off. You may work for 3, 4 months before you see any kind of like measurable gain. Just keep doing it. Don't get discouraged.
Unless you have a microwave.
Right, once it starts popping and you get some traction from all the seeds you planted, then you just take off from there. But the hardest part, for me, I almost gave up. Just keep doing it and just trust the process.
Love it. Awesome, man. Let's get through some of those questions. But before we do that, guys, if you've been watching the entire time, that means the entire time you joined us at 8 o'clock and is now 10:15 and you're still watching, #Trooper. Is it Trooper? Trooper, right?
Let's listen, Bob.
Listen, Bob. Is that the new thing for
That's
episodes?
the new one we're doing this week.
Yeah,
#listen,
okay.
Bob. All right, let's lightning round these things for you, Ed, so we can get you rolling. Let's see how to explain that the vendors are going to share leads.
So they're not sharing. So if you have a lender, I would typically make 2 different Google Sheets and split them up. But if it's going to be like a home inspector, I'm going to give you X amount of deals this year.
There you go. Are vendors actually going to track the ROI or not?
No.
Okay. So you're going to probably let them know so that they go, oh gosh, that's awesome. I'll do it again.
Yep.
Cool. So the group of vendors that you're using, they're paying anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 a month, sometimes more.
Yep.
And is your primary acquisition strategy this, or are you doing something else mainly?
So I still do live events. However, I add in a Power Partner program. So before I was doing a tiered referral program.
Mm-hmm.
It was like three wide, 3 deep. Now I do $500. So Sally agent is my client, refers Becky agent. For every month that she's with me, I give her $500 recurring.
Boom.
Every single month.
I love it. So people can actually make money by sending you business.
Yep.
It's awesome. How do you get vendors involved? I think you kind of went over that.
Yes.
Do you make the agent have skin in the game and pay for part of it, of the management, and then the vendors pay the ad spend, or what are you doing there?
So I typically let the agent pay about $300.
Perfect. Like my 2-year-old says, that's a good idea, says Don. Dylan says, whoa.
Don's also drunk.
I know, right? He's like, He's having a good time tonight. We're glad you're here, Don. Dylan says, whoa, and how long do vendors stay? Or in other words, do they actually get enough sales from the network to continue?
So we try and tell them they need to be there for at least 3 months to see any kind of return.
Boom. And if your agent's getting deals closed, like it's pretty hard not to see results.
Right.
Well, and sorry, just to add to that too, it's in the best interest of the agent to actually feed them more business.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what ends up happening in this is you're kind of building up this network where it's like if the agent's going to have a home inspection and not necessarily on your leads, right? Think about this a little bit. It's not just on your leads that they're winning here.
Right.
It's on the leads that the agent might have to bring these home inspectors and these roofers and these foundation people and the lenders and so on. And all of a sudden they've got this network that they're building up. These people start sending them leads as well that are not part of your Facebook leads.
So it's not even that. So I can't tell you how many times in a Facebook group for realtors, they always ask, I'm looking for a roofer in ABC city, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you have neighbors or friends who are looking for a roofer or a plumber, refer them. It's a deal, it's a referral. Doesn't matter where it came from. They won't know. All they know is that you're sending them a referral. You're pulling to your end of the deal.
And they're going to keep paying for, if they're getting referrals from the real estate agent, they're going to keep paying for that bill every single month, that $200, $300 that's going into the ad spend, right?
Right.
Yep. I love it. So let's see here. Brian says, best 2 hours of my life. Don says, thanks, Ed. Love the hustle. Appreciate the time and knowledge. And Mo, last question. Mo says, is the background French?
No.
Or is he saying, is your background French? Maybe that's.
We covered that at the beginning.
Okay, I think so.
Go watch the replay. Come on, buddy.
Boom. All right. Again, thank you so much, Ed. Thank you so much for your time. You guys, if you have questions, hit Ed up. You can catch him in the group. You can catch him in the private group. You can hit him up on Messenger. If he doesn't answer, you can ask for his phone number. But then again, if he doesn't answer, how's he going to give it to you? But anyways, you figure that out later. The point being, Ed, thank you so much for being here. Shane, you guys, this has been awesome. I'm going to go play some Call of Duty.
Nice.
I'll see you guys later.
Netflix night for you. Take it easy, guys. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Ed, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. And everybody watching, thanks for sticking around and tuning in again. Make sure to join us next week. We have
Gary Gray.
Gary Gray coming on next week.
One of my favorites is Buy Your Shit.
No kidding. 19 years old, making 10 grand a month in like maybe 2 months or so. Gary's awesome. We're going to have him here on the show next week. So make sure to tune into that.
Yeah, he just got his new apartment. It's pretty sick.
New apartment. He might have even bought a car. I don't know. Maybe got a haircut. Who knows?
Come on.
But we love Gary Gray. He's going to be awesome next week here on Whiskey Thursday. And with that, Ed, thanks so much again for coming on tonight and sharing an amazing amount of value with us. As usual, you've done this before with us, but you also help all the students. We really appreciate your time. And everybody watching, we will see you next week. Thanks, guys. Take it easy.
Take care, guys.
Take care.
All right.
Oh.
So I just hit the end, which means it should have actually
Dude,
ended on
we
time.
were hovering. Did you see that?
What?
Like,
we were hovering, yeah, over 50 for the majority of that time.
That is a record.
Yeah. Yep. I think
the entire time. Yeah.
Yeah. Like even Blake Newbar, when we had him on, it spiked and then it dropped down to like 30.
Yeah. I think Blake was one of the top ones.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Anthony Mann, also 50 or so. But never, ever have I ever seen our lives hover between 40 and 50 consistently the entire show. Great job, Ed. Thanks for sharing so much value, man. It's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, it's really, really good. And congrats on your success.